everyone, I'm the Mighty Blues, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Last time, we explored a bit more of the Great Plateau, grabbing ourselves, I believe, 2 of the shrines out of the 4 in total that we are going to be looking at here on the Great Plateau. And we also took a look at one of the joys that Amiibo can offer. Giving us some new costumes, that being the ones that we've obtained so far, being the Tunic of Time, the Trousers of the Wind, and the Cap of the Sky. And getting a bunch of other resources that we will be using for cooking, which is going to be the big topic of this episode. Now, before we begin, I need to correct a mistake that I accidentally made in the last episode that I completely forgot about until after I had recorded those 2 episodes and I had a mini panic attack and I honestly thought that I was going to need to re-record the entire Let's Play all over again. But I am here to correct my mistake and give you guys a bit more information that not even I knew about. So, last episode I talked about Amiibo, and I scanned a bunch of Amiibo. However, there were 2 in particular that unlock something really, really special that I want to talk about. Now, thankfully, and I am saying thankfully, we are not able to obtain the special thing that we can get from these 2 Amiibo just yet. And that is a good thing, because if we were to have unlocked it, that would have been really bad. The Amiibo that I'm talking about in particular are the Twilight Princess Link and the Smash Brothers Link, which is technically also Twilight Princess Link. Now, what's special about those 2 is that they give you a exclusive item, an exclusive thing that I'm not going to share because we're going to wait until we can actually unlock it, that you're really going to want to pay attention to. Now, I'm here to tell you that if you scanned those Amiibos at the exact same time that I did, don't worry, you, at this point in the game, have no way of actually obtaining those unlockables. I am here to tell you that that special unlockable from these 2 Amiibo can only be unlocked after you obtain the paraglider from the old man. Upon doing so, you have a near, not completely 100%, a near 100% chance of getting this item the first time you scan the Amiibo after unlocking the paraglider. So keep that in mind. I'm just going to let you guys know, I highly recommend, if you have the Twilight Princess or Smash Brothers Link Amiibo, just don't scan them until you get off of the Great Plateau. Just wait. Just wait to do it. You'll thank me later. I was an idiot, and I completely forgot, and I scanned them, not realizing that, I could have screwed myself over. I want to thank Black Cat on Reddit, who created a whole Reddit thread talking about this information. I did not know this until I read their thread, so thank you for that. Now, even though this is a new recording session, I'm not going to scan Amiibo just yet because I actually want to dedicate my time to cooking. So, without further ado, let's begin. First, I want to talk to the old man. How's your shrine exploration going? What are you doing? This body of mine isn't what it used to be. Recovering from a bout of hard work takes a while. If you're hungry, I have an empty pot that you can use to cook yourself a meal. Got any tips? Simply open your inventory, grab hold of your ingredients, and toss them in. Try to consider how the ingredients will complement one another. You can even make a dish that increases your stamina. It's all about being creative and trying different things. Ho ho ho! Now, we have a lot of resources at our disposal. Admittedly, more resources than we should even have access to. Again, I used Amiibo. It's not cheating! I'm going to continuously tell myself that. Now, you can be simple and just take one of an item and just cook it a bunch and, you'll get some really good healing items. Like, honestly, just take a piss ton of raw meat and you're good to go. I'm not going to be doing that. I am going to be showing off every single cooking item that you can make based on the items that we have on our inventory. As soon as we have something in our inventory and we are able to cook, and we are needing to cook, I will be showing everything off. Now, there's one dish in particular that we learned about in a previous episode, thanks to the old man's diary, that we are going to be dedicating our time to cooking, and it is actually the reason why I used the Amiibo to get ingredients, because I'm lazy and I don't want to hunt for my own food myself. If you are trying to get these ingredients the standard way, you are going to need some meat, you are going to need some fish, and you are going to need a spicy pepper. If you want to get some meat, if you go around in the Forest of Spirits, there are some boars that you can shoot in order to kill and get some raw meat. Additionally, there are some birds around that you can shoot, like that bird right there, in order to get some meat. And the spicy peppers, you can always find spicy peppers here in the old man's cabin. There are some spicy peppers somewhere around here, but we haven't explored that area yet, so that explains why we haven't gotten a hold of it. Now, with that said, I'm going to take one spicy pepper. I am going to take one Hyrule bass, which the Hyrule bass is important. You can find Hyrule bass in particular right around where this shrine is. So keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to take the spicy pepper. I am going to take the Hyrule bass. I did not mean to do that. And I'm going to take some raw meat, and I'm going to cook it. Ooh! So that special jingle. I actually never showed the animation in a previous episode. That Link is salivating. That is hilarious. He's so excited. He's ready to eat. Sorry, Link, I'm going to torture you a little bit more. So, that special jingle, what that means is you have I don't know the exact percentage chance, but you have a certain percentage chance of getting a high value dish. I don't know exactly what comes into it. I think it's just luck, but you have a chance of your healing properties on a dish that you cook being better than normal. That jingle means that we got that. With that said, the dish that we just created. This is the spicy meat and seafood fry. Grants mid-level cold resistance. A filling dish made by cooking fresh seafood and meat together. I mentioned before that the elements can affect you. Fire can affect you, but also temperature can affect you. If you look at the temperature gauge on the bottom right corner, that tells you if you are in the level of either being too cold or being too hot, to the point that Link will start taking damage. Cooking foods can lower that resistance. If you're moved by any wild culinary inspirations, feel free to cook yourself a meal using my pot over there. I cooked something. Wait, is that... That looks just like my signature perfect dish, spicy meat and seafood fry. But how did you... Well, I suppose that is not important. Can I trouble you to share the recipe? Of course, I will pass. How could I have forgotten? Well done. Now please, allow me to reward your culinary efforts with this warm doublet. A warm pullover typically worn by mountain folk. Its sturdy fabric and thick gloves are great at retaining body heat. Just like meals, clothing can lower your resistance to the elements. With that, you will be able to resist the bite of colder environments. As for me, I know a great spicy meat and seafood fry recipe, so I can do without that warm doublet. And yes, for those of you wondering, you can stack multiples of the same buff. Unfortunately, you cannot stack different buffs, but the same one. So if we wore the warm doublet, we could also top that off with the spicy meat and seafood fry to grant ourselves more of a resistance to the cold. Now, with that said, I am going to open my handy-dandy physical guidebook that I bought at the launch of Breath of the Wild's release and see if there are any additional dishes that we can cook up with the resources that we have. Now, one thing that we can actually make right off the bat, if we take our coarser bee honey and mix it with an apple, we get... the Energizing Honeyed Apple. Instantly refills some of your stamina wheel. A juicy, sweet, and sour dish combining newly ripened apples with honey. And if we take just one piece of meat, or multiple, honestly, with this dish, you can kind of choose how many pieces of meat you want, but if you have at least one piece of meat, you get... a meat skewer, a juicy, filling snack made by grilling small chunks of meat on a skewer. Honestly, one of the best healing items because the more meat you add, the more health it heals. It's a really good item if you just have a ton of meat. Like, genuinely, I highly recommend just cooking a bunch of those. if we cook 2 or more, if we cook 2 different greens, for the sake of this, I'm just going to take 2 Hyrule herbs. It could be really any variant. It just needs to be 2 of them. We get fried wild greens, a basic vegetable dish made by sauteing fresh wild plants. Additionally, if you just cook 1 green, can be any of them, we get fried wild greens. Wait, hang on a minute. That can't be. Wow, I really got a rare drop because I cooked less greens, but I got more kills. Okay, then. Now, one thing that I actually want to show off, if we take fish and meat, not peppers, we get a variant of the spicy meat and seafood fry. For this, we just get the meat and seafood fry. A filling dish made by cooking fresh seafood and meat together. But if we take the spicy pepper and put it with meat, we get the spicy pepper steak. Additionally, if you do the same thing, but just with a pepper and a fish, spicy pepper seafood. If we take a Hyrule herb and mix it with a raw meat, we get steamed meat. Steamed meat. Listen, I'm a Simpsons fan. I have to make that reference. It'd be a crime if I didn't. Additionally, you do the same thing except with a green and a fish. Steamed fish. Also, you can do the same thing but with a mushroom and a green. Steamed mushrooms. I think you can just tell that I'm just going down my list of things that we can cook. Because, oh wait, hang on. Ooh. You know what? I'm actually going to do something a little bit different. But I think you can tell that I'm just going down my list of things in my guidebook, because if you take a fruit and a green, steamed fruit, a regional dish made by steamed near-ripened fruits in the leaves and fragrant plants. Now, an interesting one that I want to show off, and I actually want to show off something a little bit different here. I'm going to take a mushroom, but I'm actually going to use a different kind of fish. We've got the armored carp. We're playing on master mode, and we got no hearts. Let's do an armored carp to raise our defense. Cook that with a mushroom. A tough fish and mushroom skewer, giving us defense up for a minute. Grants a low-level defense boost. A simple dish made by cooking skewered fresh fish alongside fragrant mushrooms. Additionally, we can do the exact same thing with a mushroom and a meat, except this time I'm going to use a stamella shroom, as that will up our stamina. Instantly refills from your stamina wheel. The filling dish made by grilling various mountain ingredients with meat. Additionally, I'm going to take a fruit and a mushroom, put it together, get a fruit and mushroom mix. Also, just like the meat skewer, if you just take a fish and cook it, you get a fish skewer. Simple dish made by cooking chunks of fresh fish on a skewer. I didn't mean to catch that on fire. Additionally, this works as well with just the mushroom. I think you're starting to do... 4! Okay, I'll take it. I think you're starting to understand that I'm just going down my list, but I'm going to continue doing this. Also, nuts can be cooked. This time I'm going to take 2. For that, we get sauteed nuts. These sauteed tree nuts are perfect snacks for the busy adventure on the go. I would also like to talk about what happens if you accidentally mess up a cooking dish. I'm gonna try cooking a gear. You get dubious food. Oh hey, it's just Mithra's cooking. It's too gross to even look at. A bizarre smell issues forth from its heap. Eating it won't hurt you though. Probably. Damn, that really is just Mithra's cooking. I'm gonna do it for the sake of content. What happens if we cook a ruby? Hard rock food. A dish gone away after adding the wrong ingredient. Chewing your way through this won't be fun, but it'll fill you up when you're between a rock and a hard place. Oh, that's so dumb. And the last thing that I want to show off, if we cook monster parts mixed with creatures, we can make elixirs. So what I want to do is I'm going to take this restless cricket and I'm going to mix it with some bokoblin guts. And I'm going to see what that gives us. An energizing elixir restores your stamina, which is used when performing physical actions such as climbing walls or swimming. So yeah, there's a lot to cooking. We've barely scratched the surface. I will be honest, we cooked a lot. We actually cooked 2 pages worth of food. But we have barely scratched the surface. As I mentioned before, I'm going to be dedicating this Let's Play to cooking every single dish that is possible in Breath of the Wild, so keep that in mind. Now that we've gotten ourselves the warm doublet through our cooking endeavors, we're going to be making our way over to this area here. Now, there's a number of ways we can approach this. We can either go from the Shrine of Resurrection, or we can actually go around from the Oadame Shrine. I'm actually going to go that way. As if we climb up there, we should be able to make it across. And thankfully, if we run out of stamina on our way going up, we have some items that will heal our stamina. And also, the game designers were very helpful and gave us this little incline, or this little spot here, for Link to rest his tired arms and legs if we run out of stamina and health. I didn't know you were here! Hello. I mean, I've already got a sledgehammer, but like, I don't need this torch. As much as I like burning things, I don't like burning things that much. Yeah, let's go for the spear. I definitely could have gotten rid of the spear, but the spear is a weapon and the torch really isn't. I don't ever feel the need to hold torches in my inventory because, like, they have very numbered uses. And hey, the temperature is getting dangerously low. Find warmth soon or you'll take damage. So that's what the temperature gauge is for, is to show us when we are about to take damage from the elements. Thankfully for us, we have the warm doublet. I'm gonna wear that. Unfortunately, it does lower our defenses just a little bit. But considering how little health we even have right now, I don't think extra defense is really gonna help us out much. Unfortunately for us, though, the snow does make us move slower, so keep that in mind. You're going to be burning through a lot more stamina if you try running. That's not going to stop me, though, because I'm impatient, and I like to run. Now, there's some goblins over there that I definitely want to take out, because we've definitely proven in this episode that monster parts are very helpful. So they're definitely something that I want to start collecting, and also they have a chest! This is a new bokoblin! This is a black bokoblin, stronger than the blue ones, so keep that in mind. I am going to intentionally do ill-timed jabs, so that way this thing does not attack me. Get that flurry rush! We are going to be burning through so many items just to take you out. Oh, grab that. Give me that shield. A spiked Boko shield. A shield made from the slightly stronger wood and reinforced animal bones. I don't know if we've actually gotten that item before, but I'm gonna assume we didn't. Now, thankfully, enemies do take fall damage, so keep that in mind. If you yeet them off a cliff, they will take damage. Unfortunately, though, that one didn't. I'm gonna shoot you. Thankfully, headshot you. Unfortunately, I don't really want to fall from here. Oh, come on. Really? I didn't mean to do this! Uh-oh. Oh, damn it. Now it's... Yeah, hello, I see you. Okay, this is not worth my time. I am not going to be able to take you out. I can already tell. I am not dealing enough damage to actually be able to do anything against you. So I'm just going to take that item and run. Unfortunately, that is going to be a very normal strategy playing in Master Mode. I say unfortunate because I am dumb. I like to fight everything I see. I think it's just the RPG player in me. I always think like, enemy, must kill. And this is a situation in which, yeah, you kind of gotta pick your battles wisely. At the risk of dying or completely running out of weapons because they all break. And you still haven't killed one enemy. So yeah, keep that in mind. No, oh my god, I might have picked the wrong path. Dear Lord. Is there even anything over here? I don't know, because once again, my map shows nothing on the Zelda notes. And oh, I probably shouldn't have made it all the way up here. Whoa. Oh, hey, there's the shrine. Oh, shoot! I almost just dropped off the cliff. Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Now, this is a great time to introduce one of my favorite techniques in the entire game. If we hold out our shield by holding ZL, jump, and then press A, we can shield surf! Unfortunately, this does deteriorate the durability of your shield, but if you're someone like me, it doesn't matter because shield surfing is such a great way to transport yourself. I absolutely love shield surfing with every fiber of my being. I love doing it all the time. It snowballs! Okay, get out of here, you. Get out of here, you! Guess I'm using this phone. And unfortunately, there were enemies over here. Okay, good. They're blue goblins. And there are hang on. I gotta use something. I got an idea. I got an idea. Okay, well, I was really hoping to be able to blow up the bomb barrels over there. In fact, I have an idea. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna drop this here. You guys get over here. Okay, blow that up. Yeet you. Throw this at you. Oh, fuck! Shit! Oh, I didn't mean to do that! Alright, now we're down to just one! Which means I can easily take you out. Unfortunately, my arm does not last very long. Oh! Shit! Okay, well, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that flurry rush. Now, thankfully, I can spin to win! Spin to win! Ooh, give me your weapon. Give me that. Yeah! Okay, well, I didn't mean to do that, but it's dead, so it doesn't matter. And we can actually steal some seared meat from their camp, which is great because I need it. Cannot believe I actually survived that fight. And I say I can't believe it because I'm honestly just expecting everything to one-shot us, including explosions. Including my own explosions, honestly. For that, we get the Keh Namut Shrine. The Cryonis Trial. One of my favorite abilities in this game. Not as much as the bombs. I still like the bombs. Cryonis. Create a pillar of ice from a water surface. Builds ice pillars that are very stable. These pillars can be used as stepping stones or as obstacles. Use Cryonis on an ice pillar to break it. This is genuinely one of my favorite modes of transportation. I love being able to just create a pillar of ice anywhere that there's water, climb up it, and just go across. It's so cool. It's great for crossing rivers and lakes and all that stuff. It's such a good ability. It is the one ability of this game that I love using. For this, we get a new enemy. It's like a miniature guardian. It's gonna shoot lasers at us. But don't worry, it's not that dangerous. Actually, I don't know. This is master mode. These things might be more powerful than I'm giving them credit for. Now I believe as long as you just keep wailing on it, it's not gonna shoot a laser at us. I don't think it is. I think it's just gonna sit there. It's just sitting there. Menacingly! Unfortunately, I wasted a bunch of weapons on that, but hey, look at that. I freed up some inventory. Now, the other cool thing about Cryonis, you can actually put it directly underneath you to just raise yourself up instantly. It's so cool. I love Cryonis. I am going to be raving during this whole Let's Play about how good Cryonis is. Also, if you do Cryonis next to a pillar that's already been created, it will shatter. You can only have, I believe, up to 3 pillars open at a time. Once you start creating more, whatever was the oldest one you created will disappear. Also using the power of physics to create ourselves a ramp. Taking a look at the map, we have grabbed the 1 chest in this shrine, meaning we have 100% it. And that is the last shrine of the Great Plateau. The resourcefulness in overcoming this trial speaks to the promise of a hero. Yeah, whatever, old bag. Give me my reward. And heal a quarter of a heart. I was running a little low. Could you top me off? I always love, I feel like Pokemon games say that a lot, where it's like, oh, hey, you must be pretty tired from that fight. Let me heal your Pokemon. And it's like, I'm 30 levels higher than my opponent. I took no damage. Whoa. No? Just me? With this, you have now acquired all of the spirit orbs from the shrines on this plateau. Oh, extraordinary. That means it is finally time. Link, it is finally time for me to tell you everything. But first... imagine an X on your map, with the 4 shrines as the endpoints. Find the spot where those lines intersect. I shall wait for you there. Do you understand? Where the 2 lines connecting the shrines will cross. There, I will be waiting. This is one of my favorite parts of this Let's Play. Or just not of this Let's Play, of this game in general. I love how cryptic these quests are. They don't directly tell you, hey, you need to go to this thing, the blinky thing, go there. I mean, obviously there is a blinky thing on certain quests, but there are a lot of quests where it's like, hey, you need to do this thing in order to complete this quest. Here's a hint. And then you're like, okay, well, let me look at the blinky thing that tells me where to go. And it's like, no, the blinky thing tells you something completely different. You actually have to solve the puzzle for yourself. I love that. I wish more games did it. It makes everything so cryptic and so explorative. It's a shame that I never take advantage of it, because I'm someone who loves guidebooks, I love using the internet, and I love using interactive maps. So, as much as I say I love the storytelling, and I love the world building of it, I'm also impatient, and I don't want to deal with that. But, this is not one of those times. I'm actually going to give you an example. So, what the old man means is that if we take every shrine that we have engaged with, and we have unlocked, and we draw lines to them, so from the Keh Namut Shrine, all the way to the Western Abbey, to the Jabej Shrine, that creates a line. And then if we go from the Omen Al Shrine and create a line to the Awadame Shrine, right where those 2 lines intersect is where we need to go. And that is right here. I will be fast traveling from the Shrine of Resurrection to go there. Now, we never really explored this area earlier, so I'm not going to spoil where we're going to be going to. But I will say, for those of you who are Zelda fans, specifically Ocarina of Time fans, you will recognize this area immediately. We're going to be heading over to that church over there. Now, this is a new recording session. I haven't actually started uploading videos yet. I recorded the first 2 episodes, and now I'm recording this episode. I really hope I didn't piss off people by saying that I think Ocarina of Time is okay. Like, it is a great game. It's just not one of my favorite Zelda games, for reasons I explained before. But I do appreciate a lot that what Ocarina of Time did for the series. And hey, a Sunset Firefly. These fireflies glow gently in the dark. When cooking with monster parts, the compound that caused it to glow resulted in an elixir that will allow you to move more quietly. So cooking these will give you an elixir that will up your stealth. I recommend collecting a bunch of these for reasons not only for elixirs, but something that I will go into much, much later in the Let's Play. I'm just going to get in the habit of collecting them all now. But yeah, I really hope that I didn't, like, genuinely offend anyone by saying, like, I think Ocarina of Time's okay. Everyone's opinions are subjective, and I did appreciate Ocarina of Time enough that I decided to 100% it. Like, I even did it on my original N64. Like, I did enjoy Ocarina of Time, but it's not one of those Zelda games that I come back to. But here we have found the Temple of Time. God, look at all the remnants of the Guardians. Just, like, they're all approaching the Temple of Time as if they knew the importance of this area. Because this area is important. Specifically for those of you who played Ocarina of Time, you'll know. Also, there's a blue bokoblin here! Good to know! Now, thankfully, we are attacking it with a much stronger weapon, so we are dealing a ton more damage. I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably gonna be abandoning weapons that deal a certain amount of damage once we are able to access weapons that deal more than, like, more. I guess to clarify, like, as you can tell, weapons that deal about 10 damage or more, they're very important. I recommend hanging on to those as much as you can. Once we get to the point in which those become the common, anything in the single digits, I'm probably just gonna abandon. But over here we get the Traveler's Bow. Can never have too many bows. And, oh. Sorry, I forgot to mute my phone. My phone is telling me to take my meds again. Oh!
Royal princesses have a sacred power which is claimed to have been passed down generation after generation. In fact, the lineage traces all the way back to the first queen, when Hyrule was founded. The ritual at the Temple of Time falls upon the princess to carry out. But do my prayers even reach the goddess when my powers have yet to awaken?
I was about to praise how beautiful this game is, and then I got the perfect chance to just show it off. Hearing that voice memory, or being able to see the sunrise from the Temple of Time. God, this game is gorgeous. It really is a beautiful game. It was a beautiful game when it first came out, and unfortunately it was held back by the technical limitations of the Switch, so I'm glad that this game is able to show its full potential on the Switch too. Let us pray at the goddess statue. You who have conquered the shrines and claimed their spirit orbs, I can offer you great power. It appears that you have claimed 4 spirit orbs. In exchange for 4 spirit orbs, I will amplify your being. So tell me what it is that you desire. For 4 spirit orbs, we are able to either give 1 additional heart or increase a 5th of our stamina wheel. We can have up to 3 stamina wheels in total. And I'm going to be honest, I actually don't know how many maximum hearts we can hold because I've never gotten maximum hearts in the entirety of my time playing this game. I have always maxed out stamina, and then just whatever I have left over, I go into hearts. So, yeah, I actually don't know how many hearts you can have in total. But, with that said, considering the fact that we are playing Master Mode, I am going to be needing to completely reconsider how I play this game. Normally, I go into stamina right off the bat. I wait until I get about 2 full wheels of stamina before I start upping my heart containers. Not this time. We need more health. Do you wish for another heart container? Yes? I shall grant the power you seek. Your life force has been strengthened, increasing your maximum number of hearts by 1. It's not much, but it's something. Go and bring peace to Hyrule.
Ho!
The blessing of the goddess has made you that much more resilient, I see. Here I am. Get up here, quickly. So I have a funny story about this. Just to give you an idea how stupid I am. The first time I played this, I tried so hard trying to figure out how to climb up there. I kept burning through so much stamina, I couldn't figure it out. It wasn't until many years later that I learned there's a ladder here. And I was supposed to just climb up next to the ladder. I'm such an idiot. Yeah, you can climb ladders without burning your stamina, but you can also climb up much faster, just like you normally could while climbing any ledge. It does deplete your stamina, but you can recover your stamina by being on the ladder. Nothing over there. I guess we'll go meet up with the old man.
Well done there, young one. Now then, the time has come to show you who I truly am. I was King Rome Bosphoramos Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule, a kingdom which no longer exists. The Great Calamity was merciless. It devastated everything in its path, a century ago. It was then that my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile. So rather than that, I thought it best to assume a temporary form. Forgive me. I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago. To know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know the story from an age-long past. The Demon King was born into this kingdom, but his transformation into malice created the horror you see now. Stories of Ganon were passed from generation to generation in the form of legends and fairy tales. But there was also a prophecy. The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground. We decided to heed the prophecy and began excavating large areas of land. It wasn't long before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously. This coincided with ancient legends, oft repeated throughout our land. We also learned of a princess with a sacred power, and her appointed knight, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. It was they who sealed Ganon away using the power of these ancient relics. 100 years ago, there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power, and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear that we must follow our ancestors' path. We selected 4 skilled individuals from across Hyrule and tasked them with the duty of piloting the divine beasts. With the princess as their commander, we dubbed these pilots champions, a name that would solidify their unique bond. The princess, her appointed knight, and the rest of the champions were on the brink of sealing away Ganon. But nay. Ganon was cunning, and he responded with a plan beyond our imagining. He appeared from deep below Hyrule Castle, seized control of the Guardians and the Divine Beasts, and turned them against us. The champions lost their lives, those residing in the castle as well. The appointed knight, bravely wounded, collapsed while defending the princess. And thus, the kingdom of Hyrule was devastated absolutely by Calamity Ganon. However, the princess survived to face Ganon alone.
Link, you are our final hope. The fate of Hyrule rests with you.
That princess was my own daughter, my dear Zelda. And the courageous knight who protected her right up to the very end. That knight was none other than you, Link. You fought valiantly when your fate took an unfortunate turn. And then, you were taken to the Shrine of Resurrection. Here you now stand, revitalized 100 years later. The words of guidance you have been hearing since your awakening are from Princess Zelda herself. Even now, as she works to restrain Ganon from within Hyrule Castle, she calls out for your help. However, my daughter's power will soon be exhausted. Once that happens, Ganon will freely regenerate himself, and nothing will stop him from consuming our land. Considering that I could not save my own kingdom, I have no right to ask this of you, Link. But I am powerless here. You must save her, my daughter, and do whatever it takes to annihilate Ganon. Somehow, Ganon has maintained control over all 4 divine beasts, as well as those guardians swarming around Hyrule Castle. I believe it would be quite reckless for you to head directly to the castle at this point. I suggest that you make your way east out to one of the villages in the wilderness. Follow the road out to Kakariko Village. There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that lies ahead. Consult the map on your Sheikah slate for the precise location of Kakariko Village. Make your way past the twin summits of the dueling peaks. From there, follow the road as it proceeds north.
Go on. Here's the paraglider, just as I promised. The paraglider! A item that will prove paramount to our adventure. I'm going to slip my wrists after this. An item that you... Don't actually do that! If you do that, please seek help. An item that you received from the King of the Great Plateau. It allows you to sail through the sky. Press X while you're in the air to use it. With that, you should be able to safely fly off the cliffs surrounding this area. And I think that's it. I've told you everything I can. Link, you must save Hyrule. At this point, we have our main objective throughout the entire game. Defeat Ganon. At this point, it is up to us to determine what we... I forgot about the daily bonuses. At this point, it is up to us to determine what we want to do with our adventure. We are able to escape the Great Plateau. We could make it east to seek out Impa and Kakariko Village. Those names should all sound familiar if you're a Zelda fan. I'm sure there are other iterations of Impa as well as Kakariko Village, but I remember those names mostly from Ocarina of Time. I love how I keep saying that I wasn't a fan of Ocarina of Time and then I thought the game was just okay. Meanwhile, all of these names are like, from Ocarina of Time. Oh, I am a walking hypocrite. However, even though the king advises otherwise, we could actually just go straight to killing Ganon if we wanted to. It's gonna be a hell of a lot harder, but we can do it. It is possible. At this point, this game is our oyster. Oyster. Did I just accidentally, combine Worcestershire sauce with oyster? I don't know. But yeah, at this point, this game is completely open. We can choose whatever we want to do. As for me, I say we have a ton more things to do here in the Great Plateau. But we're not going to do any of those just yet. We're actually going to be leaving the Great Plateau. And we're going to be doing that next time. Now, just showing it off. Upon pressing X while in midair, you are able to pull out the glider. The glider allows you to glide down to the ground at the expense of your stamina. If you run out of stamina while on your glider, you will plummet. Keep that in mind. But that is going to be it for today. I'm going to select... Yes, press A to select an active quest and that'll display your waypoint. Thank you, game. I am actually going to be heading on off to the direction not of Impa, but instead I'm going to be heading off in the direction of over here. And that's what we're going to be doing next time. Thank you so much for watching. Wow, I completely butchered that outro. Let's try that again. Thank you all so much for watching, and next time on Breath of the Wild, we finally leave the Great Plateau and truly begin our journey. And until then, I will see you all later. Goodbye!